and welcome to Your Hometown Solutions. I'm your host, Jean Newell with Waterview Realty. And today we have experts in the studio. We're going to be discussing home, family, finances, garden, and garage. We have it covered. And with me in the studios today is Carolyn Wolf with Certified Mortgage Planners. I almost forgot your company name, Certified Mortgage Planners. And before Carolyn can even say a word, she has to give out her official number.
Yes, my NMLS license number is 268538. And again, it's Carolyn Wolf with Certified Mortgage Planners.
Carolyn, last week we discussed taxes and different things that we need to know about buying a new home, the advantages of taxes and write-offs and so forth. Today in the studios, we are going to be talking to Miranda Homes representative, which is Nate Amadon. He's a new home sales director, and we're going to be talking about new homes and how you can get into new construction, because right now, everywhere I go, I see construction. Yep. It feels good because we saw a lot of empty lots and unfinished places 8-9 years ago, and right. We can see the recovery happening. So let's talk a little bit about the differences. I always tell people before you go out looking for a new home, you want to check in with a financial person, a mortgage consultant, because you have to know what your position is before you start looking for new homes, whether it's a resale or a new construction. Right. So again, give out a couple tips of what you expect to have in your possession to help you find out the best loans available for them and so forth.
Okay, Jean, thank you. Primarily, the best thing that consumers can do is actually just have a 2-year history of everything readily available, of their employment, where they've been living, their income, a good idea of how much they have in assets, a solid, firm grip on what their actual income is, and any of their debts and liabilities, and to have that all put together. But it's always a great idea. Just give us a call, find out, even if you're 6 months away, exactly, to see where you are so you are ready to go.
I think a lot of people think in terms of they don't understand about new home construction. They think they either have to pay cash for it, or they have to buy their own lot, or there's a construction perm. Yes, some of those things do apply, construction perms, but there are builders that will do in loans. They'll actually take the risk themselves building the house for you, and then you close when the home is ready. So you have those types of loans available. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. And we do have construction loans, but I believe Nate would know a little bit more about that.
Well, let's bring Nate into the conversation with Miranda Homes. Welcome, Nate Amadon.
Thank you, Jean. Great to be here.
So you're here from Chicago.
Well, originally that's where I'm from, but my wife and my 10-month-old daughter, as of today, we've relocated to the area down here in sunny Florida.
Yes, so that's wonderful. So we brought you down. Now, Miranda is a national home builder, and they're originated in Chicago. Tell us a little bit about Miranda Homes and what makes them different and maybe special to a lot of the people out there listening.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot, and this could be an entire show, I think, that we could go for in talking about all the differences and things that that we are very proud of at Miranda Homes. Miranda actually originated in Pennsylvania and was started by Bill Wolf, who named the company after his three children, Mary, Ron, and Dan. That's where you get Miranda Homes.
Okay, interesting.
The company was founded in 1972. So this is a builder that's got a lot of longevity, which I think is really important. It has become very important to consumers these days.
Yes.
They want to know that the builder has withstanded the test of time, especially after the downturn that we've recently been through.
Exactly. So the founder is Wolf. Last name is Wolf.
That's
Any
right.
relation to Carolyn Wolf here from Certified?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to explore that a little bit after the show.
So those are the kind of things that are so important. I know one of the things that I always tell my clients is if we're looking at resales, and I also want to show them new construction, that sometimes we go into a community that might have 4 or 5 different builders representing their models and so forth there. And I don't always take them to every model and every builder. And there's a reason for that, because a lot of places, a lot of builders didn't go through the economic downturn or whatever.
We'll call it the correction.
Correction, thank you. And I've been here in town so long now, I know everybody's skeletons and who's what skeletons are in whose closet. And there's some builders I just wouldn't feel comfortable having my clients, because I know I know what process they have to go through. So the simpler, the easier for construction, the better, because even if the custom home builders, a lot of people think I want to go custom because then I can pick out everything I want. But custom does not always mean better, and it doesn't always mean affordable. So let's talk a little bit about what Miranda has done to make this what would seem like a complicated process a lot easier for people to understand and to also embrace.
Yeah, it's a great comment, Jean, and I think that a lot of times when you're starting to look for a home, consumers have the tendency to commoditize a home, meaning that they're looking at things based on square footage, bedroom and bathroom count, and assuming that all things are sort of created equal after that. Mm-hmm. And that's just not the case. And what you're referring to with the custom versus maybe production side, and Miranda is a production builder and a proud production builder. And I'd like to explore the difference on that for just a minute, because I think that people hear production and they think of old times where production meant that all the homes looked the same. Right. And that it was sort of track building, if you will. And that's not what production is these days. And Miranda Homes is a large private builder, mm-hmm. And therefore they create a number of different floor plans that are out there that we believe are time tested and also keeping up with the trends. And so there's a lot of options and flexibility. We offer a lot of features that are trending right now so that you can personalize the home a lot mm-hmm. more than you might think inside of a production builder. The value of a production builder today is that there's purchase power inside of that. Yes. As a large production builder, we're able to buy in bulk, whereas custom builders oftentimes are building only a few homes a year and don't have that same purchase power. Because we don't make changes like a custom builder would to moving walls and changing or creating a brand new floor plan, we're able to actually leverage and buy in bulk in a much better deal. And so we were able to offer better price per square footages, mm-hmm. and what we like to say is an easily observable better value. And that's what we're really looking at. We're not trying to take away the flexibility. In fact, we're offering a lot more choices as far as floor plans and features these days than we ever have before. What we're trying to do is create real value for the homeowner that allows them that flexibility, but still something that's affordable to the normal family that's out here in the market.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's so much easier when you can sit with a consultant who understands their floor plans and knows what they can and can't do to it, what kinds of things that they might be able to do to personalize it. Like we've had this conversation before, Nate and I, that it's like buying a car in many ways, but you wouldn't necessarily have a person completely start a new car from scratch when there's cars or Lexus or whatever you want to buy out there where you can add all the custom features that you want to without changing the overall look of the car. And it makes sense, especially in today's market when you're trying to get into a new home and you're trying to make it affordable, right. That the production build, I like to call them personalized production build, because right. you do have a lot to offer on that. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is you believe in your communities and your floor plans and a Miranda so much that you will take the risk. If someone comes in and they put a fairly nominal amount down, you'll build the house for them and then close when it's finished.
That's right.
And a lot of builders can't do that. They can't afford to do that. Mm-hmm. And also you go the next step, the next mile, and actually have inventory homes available in many of your communities. Now here locally, how many communities does Miranda represent throughout Brevard County?
Yeah, in Brevard County, we've actually got 6 different communities that you can purchase. And we have 2 communities that are in Titusville, which is as far north as currently we're building in this area. We've got a brand new community actually in Merritt Island right here called Egret's Landing. Those homes are starting in the low 300s, and that's a brand new community where our model just went under roof, and we just did what we called a dusty boot last weekend to where we are actually being able to show the model and the floor plans that we're building out there at this stage in time. We are also building in Lake Washington in Melbourne in a community called the Reserve of Lake Washington, where there are a lot of custom builders inside of that community as well. We've got a community in West Melbourne called Eastwood, and we're also building in Palm Bay on a lot of different variety of home sites, and those homes start in the 160s.
I have a question.
Yes, Carolyn,
I was
please.
just kind of curious too, because now that the economy is doing so well, I'm hearing from my customers as well that the homes are selling fast. Are you guys seeing that your business is going pretty quickly nowadays too, as far as inventory and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's an excellent question, and yes, we're experiencing that in this particular county. We've seen an uptick that beats the national averages.
Wow.
For example, permits pulled in Brevard County year over year. Statistics just came out in December. Brevard County is up 34% against the national average, which is 8%.
Holy smokes.
So amazing that people want to move to the Sunshine State. And a lot of that is predicated on job creation, too. Brevard County has a lot of jobs. I mean, they just announced that even Titusville is creating 1,000 jobs over the next year. So you're seeing a big influx in families moving here for opportunities, my family included. So we're seeing that uptick. We've seen even this county has continued to outperform even from 2014 to 2015. You had Brevard County at 22% increase in permits versus the national average, which was 12%. So we continue to see an uptick in that. And that, of course, puts strain on inventory.
Yes.
And so to your point, you're seeing less than 3 months supply on the market in the resale market, creating a much higher demand for new construction.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it makes it so much easier when someone's coming into the area and they want to relocate without renting and so forth. If you have those inventory homes, I know back in the day, many years ago, it only took about 90 days to build a house. But now, what's the average time? About 6 months. I know a lot has to do with the land and so forth. But say from the time you actually put the first shovel into the ground.
Yeah, when you put the shovel in the ground, that starts that clock, and we have much more control over once we've got a shovel in the ground. And those timelines, depending on the product that you're building and the location that you're building in, will range between 90 and 150 days of build times, again, depending on size and community. The one thing in the process that I think and that I hear customers have a more difficult time understanding is that period between when they purchase a brand new home and when it actually starts.
Right.
And my analogy is always, it's sort of like a duck on a pond. You see a duck and it's sort of sitting there, and consumers think that we're just sort of waiting for no reason. And that's not the case. And it's worth educating everyone that there is a whole lot that has to happen. And those feet under the water are churning the minute that agreement is signed. We're going through permitting process, and there's a lot to go through that takes a lot of time and can take up to 3.5 months before we can actually put that shovel in the ground.
Right.
Well, the one nice thing about you taking all the responsibility and not and having an in loan is someone could go, right. This is what I always hear. I'm going to sell my home and then I'm going to go out and look for another house. That doesn't always kind of gel, because if they're going to close on that house they just sold in 45 days, are they going to find their home of their dreams? This is almost like having your cake and eating it too. You can pick out your house if you're going to have it built, or maybe an inventory home that's not going to be finished for another month or two, because you put those up for sale almost immediately. And you can pick out your home, pick out your lot, put them a small amount down, and then as we get a little closer to when your home is ready, then you put your house up for sale. How much easier could it be from that? I mean, you have that time where you can be in your home, you can be relaxed, you don't have to worry about coming up with a lot of cash or purchasing a lot and using the lot for your down payment and all that rigmarole that you go through with custom home building. So a lot of this is great information. And I was just out actually at your reserve. I always want to call it the preserve, but it's the reserve.
The reserve, that's right.
And that's out on Lake Washington, just under the 95 overpass. and you can follow the directionals down there. And they're about half-acre to 1.5-acre lots in that vicinity.
That's right. Yeah, they are much larger home sites, which is one of the appeals to the community. Right. You don't find a lot of that there. And Miranda is uniquely positioned there because you have several custom builders inside of that community, and they all